I am Anila Rajneesh. I am currently the CHRO, the Chief Human Resource Officer for Fedbank Financial Services. Fedbank Financial Services is a subsidiary of Federal Bank. Federal Bank is a parent company, and it's a an independent NBFC. I have been in the HR fraternity now for more than 2 decades. I have approximately have around 22 years of experience. And luckily for me, HR has been in and out in the BFSI sector. So I have always been either in a bank or an NBFC or a capital market firm, except for I think in insurance, I have covered all the other BF and S sectors, and all in HR. So for me, if you ask me, in my 22 years of experience, the last 12 years I have been in the leadership role. So the first opportunity which I got, to head HR was in HDFC Securities. I was working, with Centurion Bank of Punjab, and we were acquired by HDFC Bank. Okay, so that's how it is. So I had spent almost, we were working there as HR business partner, and then when we were offering getting the roles here in HDFC Bank when we got acquired. And today I am here with a solid, experience in the BFSI sector. And thanks, I think all my experiences in various organizations which I have worked, I have picked up something or the other. See, what is happening is now I think it is again becoming, pre-COVID, we had reached a stage, at least I'm talking from the BFSI sector, where the sector, I think after 2008, the banking and the financial sectors has gone through a cycle where it was not as rampant as what it was pre 2008. Post the Lehman Brothers crisis which has happened, and after that there have been various crises which have been followed. We've realized that it was a very employers market. People never had that kind of opportunities, but people wanted, I mean, there was scarcity of jobs, at least, while there was dearth of talent, at the same time, there was scarcity of jobs, so it was employers market. But post COVID, what I have realized is, now irrespective of how the markets do, it has gone back to being an employees market. Okay, today there are employees available. Today the industry has opened up. So I think industry has become agnostic. For some roles, at least it has become agnostic. People are open to hiring from different industries. That too also because I think it's because of the dearth of talent which is there. So now it has again gone back to employees market. So attrition is becoming a major challenge. So this is one of the biggest trend which we are seeing, after the great resignation wave. I think which everybody would have noticed, right? From, I think it was a worldwide phenomenon. While it would have started in the US, I think it did catch up in India also. And while BFSI is immune to all of this, we also caught up with that, resignation wave, and we still experience that. So I think so. This is one thing, where the employees market, and I think it will go on. So if you are a good talent, I think you will be recognized and you will have a job somewhere. Even if you are not very active, I think people come out looking out for those passive recruits. So that is one trend which I am seeing. The other thing is, I think the industry is also becoming much more flexible. I think BFSI sector at least was very stringent. I think COVID has taught us many things here. So COVID has opened our eyes to many various facets. Like we could, even the BFSI sector could work from home. If you would have asked me this 3 years back, it was a privilege to work from home. You would get any company offering you at least one day work from home, where you can work from home was a privilege. But now I think after COVID, this was another big thing which opened eyes of everyone, that there is no job which cannot work from anywhere. So you can work from anywhere. So I think this trend, though, is now again being challenged because people want to come back to office. That is because they are looking out for the camaraderie, but that flexibility will still remain. Okay, so today nobody can come back and tell you that no, this you cannot work from home, or this job cannot happen from home. So I think this is another trend which I'm seeing, which will stay on with us, for long. The other thing which I'm seeing is, the acceptance of, the gender diversity. So that is another thing which is catching on, at least in the BFSI sector, where people are getting more open and people are more sensitive. I think this is again thanks to COVID, because all the men who had to sit at home finally appreciated, I think, what the females have to go through when they are at home without their maid servants. I think all of them went through those grinds. So this was another thing. So that empathy thing has also come in. So these are, I think, good trends which will remain in the industry, and these are, I think, for the good of the industry. So I think I'm talking from the NBFC sector. I think technology is going to play a major role, because I think we are very rampantly moving towards this. We have leapfrogged big time. So technology is going to take over. I think most of the processes will be tech driven. So digitization so naturally has happened. Now I think it will be a digital transformation. So by 2025, I feel that a lot of them will be already transformed digitally, in terms of, while the fintechs are there. So I think even the traditional businesses, which remain, will adapt more towards technology and adopt it. And by then, I think by 2025, I think most of them would have, be technologically driven, the traditional NBFCs. See, if you ask me, BFSI is completely people driven organization. Okay, while it's mainly services which is there. So people naturally become one of the greatest assets. So, and the more engaged your employees are, I think the more naturally. So there are studies which naturally prove that highly engaged employees will give you more productivity and all. So I think so people will be one of the biggest aspects which is there, which is going to drive this business. Technology, as I said, will be the second most driver of business, naturally, because these are things which are going to change the industry for good. Okay, now we have already seen banking being forced to adopt technology, and they have adopted technology so well. And there are newer technologies which are coming in. You call it a blockchain, you call it machine intelligence, which are coming in, and which is making jobs very easy. Okay, now with traditional BFSI sector, NBFC was the only one, I think, which was using it only for the purpose where it was meant to be. So it was only for used purpose. But beyond that, it has been very difficult, except for the new fintechs which have gone towards using machine intelligence. So I think now technology will be the second most driver, I think, which will drive business. And I think that is something which we are all looking forward to, which will change the game. It will be a big game changer here. And the third aspect is, naturally, there are certain macroeconomic factors which affect us big time. Okay, now today we have become so tightly knit. We are a closed world today. I mean, in terms of what happens in US affects us immediately here today. So these guidelines, I think RBI guidelines also are another thing which is going to affect the NBFC front. These are three things, because there are a lot of changes which are keep on erupting it. While the third factor is which will be not in our control, the other two things are something which will naturally drive business big time. It has. If you ask me, for business leaders, resilience is something which has naturally come up. I think big time, which is required. Empathy is another thing. So people need to change the lens through which they look at, their fellow members or their colleagues. So I think this is another trait which has naturally come up. The third one is, I think, flexibility. Today, if you offer that flexibility to your people as a leader, I think that is what will make you successful. See, while all other traits or competencies have become now a must have, or it has become part of your technical competencies, your EQ, I think, has these three parts have taken priority in terms of your traits on the emotional quotient side. So for me, the proud moment was when I got this, as I mentioned earlier, was when the head of HDFC Bank HR came to me and told me, here is this opportunity, because we were many of our colleagues together. There were so many of us, and she chose me to offer this position to head HR, and that was when I was even sub 30s. Okay, so I was a very young HR leader, to take up this position, and that to be a part of HDFC Group and to head HR for an HDFC Group. I think that was one of my pride moments, and that has actually given boosted my career also big time. It boosted my confidence. While yes, I was the young kid on the block at that point in time, but it has taught me many things very early in life. So I think that is one which I would never like to forget. And it still remains my pride moment. See, what I've realized over a period of time, while hard work, determination, we all talk about, I think having the right intent, okay, to do any action, if your intent is right, I think then, and coupled with hard work and determination, success has to follow. It'll anyways come to you. I think for me, it's one Miss Lady called Miss Leena Nair. We all know her. She was the CHRO for Unilever, the global CHRO, and she has now become the CEO. So it lays a path that if you are a CHRO, I think she's broken all the glass ceilings. I think for her there are no glass ceilings at all. To become being a female and to become a global CHRO for a very large company. So that was, I think, one of the biggest achievement for her. And then the second one was at the age of 52 to become a CEO again. So from an HR field where you have spent so many years and decades, and straight away you're taking up a CEO role. So that, I think, for me, she is the role model. I think for me, it's one Miss Lady called Miss Leena Nair. We all know her. She was the CHRO for Unilever, the global CHRO, and she has now become the CEO. So it lays a path that if you are a CHRO, I think she's broken all the glass ceilings. I think for her there are no glass ceilings at all. To become being a female and to become a global CHRO for a very large company. So that was, I think, one of the biggest achievement for her. And then the second one was at the age of 52 to become a CEO again. So from an HR field where you have spent so many years and decades, and straight away you're taking up a CEO role. So that, I think, for me, she is the role model. See, for me, as I told you, rest everything you will acquire. So you will have your technical skills. You will take on as many courses now. Today, it's available. You have a lot of avenues which are there to build up on your competencies, to build up on your knowledge. But I think one thing which will differentiate you from others is your attitude. I think that is one thing which really defines class. So that is something, if you have, I think, if you have the right attitude, I think that is over the years, I mean, over so many decades, what we would have realized is having the right attitude, the right intent. I think that will only set you apart from others. So this is one thing. While you may have a lot of, you may be from a tier one institute, you may have the best of college which you would have visited, you have the best of knowledge, but if you do not have the right intent or the right attitude, I think it's all waste. Then all the knowledge which you have gained over the years is all waste.